dear students, today we are discussing third part of second lesson. Today we will see the composition of population. The composition of population is a method of learning the country's population on the basis of sex, health, literacy level, health conditions, occupations and income level. So a population of the country, population of any nations is being divided either on the basis of sex or on the basis of health or on the basis of education, so that we can understand the structure of population, whether a country's population is having more young population or whether a country is having more dependent population, or the country's population is overaged, or the population is young population. So this categorization is made on the basis of composition of population. We can say that it is the best method of understanding country's population. For example, if we say about India's population, we used to say that it is young population, because here the population of our country, we can say that most of the population of our country is in the category of 15 to 65 years of age group, 15 to 65 age group. Less population is being found above 65 years of age. This method is analyzing the structure of our population. So different categorization is being made. Here you see population is divided into various groups such as 5 to 9 year old and 10 to 14 year old. It is divided into male and female category. And this total population can be divided into three categories: young population, elderly population and working population. Young population is below 15 years of age. Elderly dependents, that is above 65 years of age. Both are dependent categories. They need the support of somebody to make a better living. Whereas people between 15 to 65 years of age are called the working population, and they are making the future of our country. So it is clearly mentioned here, the age structure of the population affect a nation's key socio-economic issues. Countries with young population needs to invest more in schools and need to invest less in health sector. Then it is further divided on the basis of age structure, and this better way of representing this age structure or sex structure is on the basis of population pyramid. What is population pyramid? You see, a population pyramid illustrate or graphical illustration, or it is pictorially illustrated the age and sex structure of country's population, and may provide insight about political and social stability as well as economic development. So it is a population pyramid is a graphical representation of the population. Graphical representation of the population means how it is being shown here. See, in this way a population is being analyzed. So this method of representing population is known as population pyramid. Since it is having a pyramid shape, it is being known as population pyramid. You see, this blue color illustrate males and this pink color illustrate females, and age wise classification is being made. So in this, how many number of people are there in between 0 to 15 years of age, and how many are there above 65 years of age can easily be understood. So this method of representing population in a graphical manner is known as population pyramid. It may have different shapes and structure, where the country's population is stable, which may have a different structure, whereas in India and again developing countries, population pyramid will be in pyramid form itself. See, it is mentioned here, the shape of population pyramid tells us about the people living in that particular country. The number of children are shown at the bottom and reflect the level of birth. The shapes and size at the top shows the number of aged people and displays the number of death. Moreover, in India, how it is being analyzed, you see, in India, this population pyramid being represented very well from the very beginning. This pyramid is having a broad base, and as it moves towards the top, it is having very narrow look. Such population contain relatively large number of young population and which shows a strong and expanding labor force. A population with a good number of young population shows that it is a promising population which can have good number of man-force or good number of productive people. Whereas if the population pyramid looks like this, we can say that you see from here 64 onwards, good number of people are there. Or from working population starts from 15 to 65, and that's equal to the dependent. Whereas in this case, young population is more and aged populations are very less. Since India is having a broad base and a narrow upper part, it shows that India is having greater young population. In countries like Japan, France, and again many such developed nations, population pyramid shows such a structure where the replacement rate of that population is very less. Age group, you see young population as well as aged population, you see from 64 onwards. Greater number of dependents are there and working population is very less. Whereas in India and all, dependents are less, working population is more. And here on the basis of sex, how it is being categorized. Either in the pyramid itself it is having two parts, either male or female. And in each and every census, we are clearly mentioning the number of female for each and every good number of males. That categorization is known as sex ratio. What is sex ratio? You see, another structural feature of population is relative number of males and female, defined as the number of female per thousand males in population. Sex ratio is an important social indicator of the equity prevailing between males and females at a given point of time. So it shows that how many number of females are there for every 1,000 population. That analyzing is known as sex ratio. It is defined as the number of female per 1,000 males in a population is known as sex ratio. Number of female per 1,000 males in a population is known as sex ratio. In India, it is always less. For every 1,000 population, for every 1,000 males, we used to have less than 150 females. This clearly indicates that our population is based on female, have some negative influence on female. So it is clearly mentioned here, India shows an uneven composition of population as compared to most of the developed countries, as shown in 2011 census, 940 females per 1,000 males. This is because of high maternal mortality, female infanticide, sex-selective female abortions, and neglect of girl child, leading to higher mortality among girls at a young age and change in sex ratio. This is because of many factors like high maternal mortality. Mortality means the death. So good number of mothers are getting death, sometimes due to accident or due to domestic violence or due to delivery, pregnancy based illness and all. Good number of females are getting their early death. And female infanticide. Some parents are not willing to have, or some couples are not willing to have female child. They used to eliminate the fetus just after detecting the sex of the fetus. Such uh, abortions are known as sex-selective female abortions because of certain socio-cultural factors or socio-cultural reason. Good number of female fetus are being aborted. It is interesting to note that rural-urban differences in sex ratio in Western countries are just opposite of those developing countries such as India. In those developed nations, that population is favorable to female, but here in India, it is not favorable to female. And another method of analyzing population is rural-urban composition. We used to say that India's economy is an agricultural economy. Here, good number of people are living in rural areas, in village areas. So this method is also clearly shows the characteristics of population. So this way of analyzing population, in this way of analyzing population, we can understand how many number of people are having better social facilities and how many are not having better social facilities. The criteria for differentiating rural and urban population varies from country to country. In general terms, rural areas are those people who are engaged in primary activities like agriculture. Whereas in urban centers, people are not, their primary activity is not agriculture, rather many other activities like business, government job and so on. We can say that around 70% of India's population is living in urban areas. Whereas even if you go to Western countries like European countries as well as North American countries, very good number of people are living in urban centers and their urban population is more than that of rural population. So we can see the summary. In Western countries, male outnumber females in rural areas and female outnumber males in urban areas. In Western countries, male outnumber female in rural areas. In Western countries, we can see good number of males in rural areas, whereas in urban centers, good number of females can be seen. Farming in Western countries is highly mechanized because farmers are very less in number. Maybe even if you go to United States and all, 5% of total population is engaged in agriculture. So in order to support this farming community, good number of machineries are being developed. In India also we can see good number of machineries. But since householding is small, most of the work is done by that owner as well as that family members. Then in countries like India, female participation in farming activities in rural areas is fairly high. Farming is, we can say that, a household activity. Each and every family members in India, in rural India, engaged in farming. Storage of housing, high cost of living, paucity of job opportunities, and lack of security in cities discourage women to migrate from rural to urban areas. In India, we can see that good number of males are migrating to urban areas. These days, we can see how many people are coming from urban centers like Mumbai and Delhi and so on. Many are coming by walking, many are coming by trucks, many are being walking for many days to reach to their village areas. We can say that good number of people, especially males, are migrating to urban centers. Whereas in India, due to some certain socio-economic activities or socio-cultural activities, we can say that in India, females are not migrating to urban centers. Reasons are given here: shortage of housing, high cost of living. In urban centers, everything we need to purchase, whereas in village we get everything from our farmhouse or farmland. Then paucity of job opportunities, lack of security in cities. This all makes female not to migrate to urban centers. In rural urban composition of population is the yardstick of economic development of a country. This rural urban population can shows what type of development is there in our country. Suppose if our country is having good number of population, we can clearly understand the educational standard of our population, economic standard of our population, and we can also analyze the quality of human being or quality of life or human development index can be easily understood by analyzing the population on the basis of rural to urban population. If our population is living in city areas or cities and all, we will be having, or the population will be having all the facilities. Whereas even if a population, good number of population is living in urban and village areas, we can easily understand that most of this population are not having, or most of the people are not having any facilities for their livelihood or proper way of living. Now we have seen the vocabulary. Good number of words are being given, like human resource, sex ratio, age composition, literacy rate. Hope you all are having textbook, and this summary is also being given here. Please go through it if you do not have the textbook. Then its exercise part is solved here. Then fill in the blanks. Question and answers will be added in the video. You can go through it and can write it in your copies. Moreover, as summer assignment, you have to write the question and answers of, or all the exercise portion of these 2 lessons 2 times. Thank you and have a nice day.